All right, let's talk about the evolution of SAP Transportation Management. It's a really fascinating story about speed, simplicity, and integration. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll see why this whole shift is such a huge deal. Okay, let's get into it.
So let's start with the big problem, the core challenge. Modern logistics, it's not about slow manual processes anymore. It's all about making decisions in real time, right now, across these incredibly complex global networks. I mean, just imagine it. One single container ship carrying thousands of items for tons of different customers. Any delay in that chain, even just a few minutes, means you're losing money and missing opportunities. The technology behind it all had to go through a massive change just to keep up.
To really get why the new way is so special, we got to look back at how things used to be. We need to understand the built-in limits of the old architecture to see why this change wasn't just a nice-to-have upgrade, but an absolute necessity to compete. And you can see the whole journey right here. It all started with pretty basic shipping functions way back in the 90s. But as logistics got more and more complicated, SAP brought in more advanced planning tools. This whole path eventually led to a powerful but, and this is the key word, a separate, standalone transportation management system.
Now this standalone setup, it worked for a while, but it created some major headaches. What you had basically were two different worlds, your main business system, your ERP, and your transportation system. And they had to constantly talk to each other. This meant you needed all these complicated interfaces, which led to data getting out of sync and, you guessed it, serious performance bottlenecks. It functioned, but boy, it was not fast.
So, the fix for all this? It wasn't just some patch or a simple upgrade. Nope, it was a total revolution, right down at the database level. And this is where the story gets really interesting.
This slide just nails the difference. A traditional database is like going to a huge library to find one specific book. You got to walk the aisles, find the shelf, pull it out. It takes time. An in-memory database like SAP HANA is like having that exact book already open right there on your desk. The data lives in super fast main memory, RAM, so getting to it is practically instant.
And that's the key takeaway, right? SAP HANA is the engine, the powerhouse that makes this whole new generation of business software possible. Its ability to just chew through information at incredible speeds directly solved all those bottlenecks and delays of the old system. It paved the way for what came next.
So with this ridiculously powerful new engine under the hood, SAP could do something radical. They could completely reinvent their main systems. And this led to the birth of S/4HANA, and a totally new, integrated way of looking at transportation management.
And let's be super clear here. S/4HANA isn't just an update. It was a complete teardown and rebuild, a brand new foundation designed from the ground up to squeeze every drop of speed out of HANA. This new system brings all the critical business functions, including transportation management, into one single, seamless system.
So when you hear the term embedded TM, what does that actually mean? Well, it means transportation management is no longer this separate thing you have to bolt on. Now, it's baked right into the DNA of S/4HANA. And that gives us three massive benefits. One set of data for everything, a much simpler architecture, and true real-time processing.
So what does this look like in the real world? Well, because TM is now part of the core, you have one single source of truth for all your data. You don't have to copy sales orders back and forth anymore. Your master data, way simpler, and you can just ditch all that clunky middleware you needed to glue the two systems together. It's all one thing now, from start to finish.
Okay, so it's unified, it's faster, but what does that really mean for a business? Let's talk about the real-world payoff, the actual advantages you can see and feel. Picture this. You're a global freight forwarder. Your entire world is about solving this one giant puzzle every single day. What is the absolute cheapest, fastest, and most efficient route for this shipment? They're juggling thousands of these puzzles across oceans, air, and land. In this game, any time spent waiting to plan is just money down the drain. Now with the old way, the standalone systems, running just one of those complex route calculations could take up to 15 minutes. Think about that, a quarter of an hour, just waiting for the computer to give you an answer before you can make a decision.
And now, with embedded TM running on S/4HANA, that very same complex calculation is done in mere seconds, not minutes, seconds. The difference is just, well, it's night and day.
And look, this insane speed boost isn't just a neat party trick for the tech folks. It is a straight-up competitive weapon. It means businesses can optimize their shipments on the fly, react instantly to problems, and give way better service to their customers, all of which saves a ton of money.
So let's bring it all home. We've seen a clear journey, right? From basic tools to a powerful bit separate system, and finally to this fully integrated embedded solution. The whole thing was kicked into high gear by the need for speed, and it was all made possible by that revolutionary HANA database. The result? A single, powerful system that gives you a massive edge over the competition.
And that brings us to our final and maybe most important thought. This jump from minutes to seconds. It doesn't just make the old ways of doing things faster, it opens the door to entirely new ways of managing a supply chain. Think about dynamic pricing, on-the-fly rerouting, brand new services you couldn't even dream of offering before. And thinking about those new possibilities, well, that's the most exciting takeaway of all.